Lyden af musik og fællesskab og gode stunder, det er, hvad det skal handle om i dag. Det skal handle om Sound Dimension, et selskab, som vi har mødt før her i vores Investor TV. Vi har mødt selskabet, hvor det skal handle om en telefon som den her, men det skal frem for alt handle om lyd, om en ny form for højtaler, kald det hvad I vil, som er en teknologi, som er udviklet af Sound Dimension, som jeg har fået besøg af her i studiet. Og vi har både en præsentation af selskabet med, og vi har også en produktpræsentation til jer, der sidder derude. Så glæder jer. Vi skal høre, hvordan selskabet har udviklet teknologien indtil nu, og vi skal så også høre, hvor langt selskabet er kommet, og hvor de er på vej henad. Og med mig her i studiet, der har jeg dig, Thomas Bergdahl, som er CEO. Og så har vi også fået denne gang besøg også af dig, Frederik Gundersen, som er Sound Wizard, fik jeg at vide, men også founder of the company. Så velkommen til, og godt at have dig her. Så det er the businessman and the sound man.
Ja, yeah, right.
Og jeg er allerede ved at varme op til jer derude til, at vi går over på engelsk om lidt. Det er vi blevet enige om, at det er godt at tage det in English in a few seconds. Men har I spørgsmål til selskabet derude, så kan I altid gå ind på sounddimension.se og skrive til selskabet, og så vil de helt sikkert også svare jer derude. Jeg skal også forsøge at tage jer igennem. So, Thomas, again, welcome. And for you, if you didn't understand my welcome in Danish, then I'll continue in English. We met in October,
yep.
And you were listed at Spotlight in Stockholm, and that was a good experience, I guess, and now you're here.
Now we're here, and a lot have happened since last time.
Which is also why it's good to have you back.
Yep.
We have a short presentation, a brief, also for you guys out there that don't know the company. And then we have this product presentation, first time in Denmark. So we look forward to that. And I promised to play Frederik into to the past that is more technical. And you are the business guy in that sense. But can you take us through the company, just for people that don't know you? And you have a few slides, and just take us in a few minutes. Where are you now, and where are you going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So from what's happened since last time is that we've been focusing on the development, and we're ahead of plan. And now we're launching Hi-Fi streaming. Mm-hmm. We can do a demonstration of our Hi-Fi technology both on speakers and on smartphones. Mm. And also market and technology has been evolving favorable for us. We have streamlined our strategy, so we're only business-to-business focused, and software licensing as a strategy going forward.
That's sort of the summary since we met in October. You've actually evolved a lot. And for all the people out there, what is it in short that you're actually doing in the company?
We're making sound better by introducing artificial intelligence, making devices smarter so that they are aware of themselves and how they fit in an Hi-Fi ecosystem, and how they could provide a better sound experience for you as a listener.
Yeah, and that is what we are about to hear in a few minutes with your launch on the telephones here. So great.
So consumption of stream music has exploded. The music is at hand always, but not really good quality sound when you're out and about and listening. And that's why we have introduced Hi-Fi streaming, to make phones sound and play better together. When you're all in one place, playing from several units, it doesn't sound so good today when you're using the music streaming providers' apps. But with Hi-Fi inside, we make a difference. And we want to create a new de facto standard with Hi-Fi, just like Bluetooth did for connectivity and Dolby once did for sound. Hi-Fi delivers an outstanding sound experience. Hi-Fi stands for Artificial Intelligence Fidelity. And we differ from the traditional methods of playing sound via several different speakers at the same time. We use, as I said, AI to make the speakers intelligent in order to provide a better sound experience by playing and sounding better together, like a chorus. One singing is good, a whole bunch of people singing is better. And the same with our technology. the more units playing together, the better the sound quality. And it gives you a very much improved sound experience.
So that's the basic.
That's the basics, yeah. And really what we've seen is that we've seen the need to improve sound quality and listening experience on the go, but also in the room when you're sitting together and listening. And that's why we have developed two solutions. We have the same core technology, but two solutions. One is developed for smartphones. It's called Hi-Fi streaming. And the target group is for music streaming providers. And the technology is supposed to be integrated in their apps. Hi-Fi Inside is developed for Bluetooth speakers and targeted for use by speaker manufacturers, of course. And the technology there is to be integrated already at chip level, so it will be ready at production.
Okay. So
Both are licensing models, B2B models, and I have about more than 15 years experience of this in this field.
which is, also again, back to the phrase about the businessman. Just to, Frederick, for you, you were founding this. What was the vision originally, and when did you start it all out?
Well, everything started out in 2013, and I came up with an idea of actually making modular speakers that actually should be able to think of themselves. That was the whole idea. We actually made this happen by starting up production and everything, making hardware. So there are speakers there, and at the same time, this is a tough thing for a small company to actually pull off. So we partly have slided away from the hardware and gone more into the licensing, and now I feel we have actually clean cut. We're actually a business-to-business licensing company.
Yeah, so your part in the value chain, so to speak, was a little bit more narrow, but then you could go with larger partners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
But you can see that it's a major players that you actually want to access there, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Great. But you have some slides also on the Hi-Fi streaming, Hi-Fi Inside, which I guess is what we as investors, you should tell us more about, because that is the course. Yeah.
So let's start a little bit with Hi-Fi streaming. It's a huge market with rapid growth. Today we have there is about 523 million subscribers on a monthly basis, and the market size is $30 billion. And Spotify and Apple, they're actually doing us a favor because they are paving the way for shared music to listening together. Spotify call their solution group session, but in Swedish it's fjärrgruppssession, which actually means remote group session.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Because when you're together in the same room, listening to the same music on several phones, it doesn't really sound that good. And that's where Hi-Fi streaming adds quality.
Okay.
We provide a much better listening experience, and both Apple and Spotify could benefit from our solution.
Could one shareholder think that they could come and buy you one day?
Potentially.
Potentially, yeah. Okay. So what is it that you actually then do with that? If you should explain that technical in short.
Yeah, well, what we are, instead of actually looking at improving each and every product to a certain degree, what we're looking for is actually how to make various products play nice together. Okay. So it's a little bit a different approach from what everyone else is doing, because there's a lot of technology that is taking care of the performance of one unit and perfecting that to a high level, and it's a high merit in that. However, what we see is more like a community of units taking care of different parts, and by that looking for their strengths and combine that together to make it better.
Okay, great. So the Hi-Fi streaming is a huge potential with the company, but you have another one as well that you're playing on.
Yeah, but let's first look at what the potential for the music service providers are. Is that our offering is we offer a unique sound experience for their customers when they are together, and we believe that could boost lead generation and increase the customer loyalty, because the Hi-Fi streaming feature delivers a competitive edge, transforming all your mobile devices into one big high-quality chorus. So, and now answering your question, we go over to the Hi-Fi Inside, which is actually where it started.
Yeah, that was we're building it into the actual loudspeaker. Yeah.
And that also is a huge market. Wireless speakers today is estimated to be around 375 million units shipping. And almost 100% of those have Bluetooth embedded. And we, on the right-hand side, you see a lot of brand names, and that's all potential target customers for us. Yeah. But some more than so, and that's the ones that actually have good sounds already, but high volume. These are the ones we really want to go with first.
Are you talking to any of the, or are you testing, or how far are you on the roadmap there?
We are starting to talk with them at the moment, and hopefully we will be able to disclose something going forward, but not in the very, very short.
No, so phase one is the first part, and this is Hi-Fi Inside is phase two.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
And Hi-Fi Inside is what we think is a really disruptive technology. It's unique, and you can seamless, as Fredrik said, you can seamless connect your speakers regardless of type, and they perform as one unit, and that's why you get a very, very good sound experience when having Hi-Fi inside your speakers. Yeah. And who wants a speaker that's unable to participate in such a chorus?
And is that also with an app or something that you're still connecting as Bluetooth, like a top of Bluetooth, or yeah?
Yeah, but the actual communication technology is not critical. Okay. We can actually work with both Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Okay. So we're not tied down in that end. But we see an app as our backbone of the entire technology to be able to communicate and have a boss sort of in the entire arrangement of speakers.
Yes. Okay. So that is the two different phases that you actually wanted to attack and you want to talk about here. But you also bring here like the status. Where are you now? You came from October until now, and you actually reached some of the milestones. You have a plan for next step, as it says here. And let's just take us through before we go to what it's all about, namely the product presentation. Yeah.
So to sum it up, and as you heard just before, hearing is really believing. And we're ahead of plan. B2B is the real interesting part, and we're now licensing software only. And we have two possibilities. We have the Hi-Fi streaming for smartphones and music service providers, and we have Hi-Fi Inside for Bluetooth speakers. And both markets are huge. And if we succeed, the potential is gigantic. But that's not something I can promise. But we will for sure try and do our best to make it happen.
You are the candidate to a huge hit, as so to speak.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. And we have a good go-to-marketing plan, and we've now come so far in our development that we have the tool to demonstrate our technology. So now we will focus on selling the technology and licensing out Hi-Fi streaming and Hi-Fi Inside. And I expect to have our first customers on board in next year in 2023, and also starting generate revenues.
Yeah, and right before we started this program, I was shortly introduced with what your products can do now, and you promised to give me another introduction in a few minutes. But just before you leave us, because we have another guest coming in for the introduction, Thomas. So what's the next 6 months? What are you planning for, and when do we perhaps see you again?
Now the next coming months is all about getting our first lead customers. Primarily on the Hi-Fi streaming, because that's where we're more advanced. But also, hopefully, we could get traction on a test project with a speaker manufacturer as well. Okay. But it's focusing on selling, on switching over from development.
Selling is good. I think shareholders like that. So, so thanks for joining us. And in a few seconds, we will be back with this demonstration of the product, and you will take lead. And Bjørn Rennemo Henriksen will be here also as a wizard of sound, hopefully, and he can help us getting to know more about it. So thank you, Thomas. And
thank you, Michael.
Stay tuned with us. We will be back in a second. Welcome back. It was a short while, I can promise, and here I am again with you, Fredrik. You're still here.
Yes.
And then Bjørn Rennemo Henriksen, you're also here, and you are, as I understand it, the both business and technical-wise very experienced within sound, and you have been in the advisory board of the company.
That's correct, yeah.
And now you're here to help me and listen to this presentation. Just give me a few words on your background.
So I am an audio native, you could call it. It's been about audio my entire life. Playing music when I was younger, writing songs, working the last 25 years for audio manufacturers around, global audio manufacturers, Sony, Broadcast Professional, Sennheiser, DNB Audio Techniques, so big, shall we say, sound companies, working within strategy and commercial aspects.
Okay,
in those
great.
companies.
And then meeting this company, trying to, in many ways, create a revolution with sound speaking.
Refreshing.
Refreshing, yeah, and ambitious, and that is also what we like. So, Fredrik, now show me where you're headed at now, and the presentation of this, which is the first. Is it level 1 of your product, just for us to understand, or level 2, or how do you explain that to me?
Well, we can take it like this. We have already had the technology inside a product, a physical product. So we have spooned that out of that physical product and put it into an app.
Okay.
And that app is just a demo vehicle now to be able to show the Hi-Fi streaming technology.
And to understand the presentation, we're like 6-8 people gathered here.
Yeah.
Everybody on your app to go together, or just give us a few words. This is my telephone, and I'm the leader.
Yeah,
and
sort of that way. Yeah. No,
yeah.
but so the whole idea is as we were mentioning earlier, that the Hi-Fi streaming sort of the technology should reside inside of the streaming provider's app. And by that, there's a number of good benefits for them to actually gain a larger user base, as we see it. So what this would be, now it's our demo app, so we're presenting it this way. And I have here just the single phone to hear what's going on just from a single one.
And that I can sort of tune up and down here, but yeah, that is one. Okay.
That is what the one is doing.
Yeah.
And then we can unmute the entire, so get everyone playing in the whole party, so to speak.
And which I guess is not as easy as it sounds, because it's like getting them all simultaneous.
Yes.
And then increasing the volume and the sound quality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, what we're pulling off here is making them, now they're all phones, so it's not a big difference between the units. Where we're heading with the Hi-Fi inside, for instance, is to be able to include a subwoofer or something like that into the entire thing. So taking care of different parts of the spectra, so to speak. So in this case, what we're gaining from this is to make sure that all the phones are playing in sync, and also by that increasing the SPL, the sound pressure level, a little bit, and also by that be able to make the phones play a little bit better than what they actually do from the beginning.
And Bjørn, then asking you as a sound man and the expert, how do you look at this and the perspectives?
Ever since I first met Fredrik, Thomas, and the team, I realized that coupling all these things together is not easy. It's about timing. And I haven't seen this product demonstration with this many phones before, and what it does is exactly what we talked about, or what I was told a while back. Perspectives in this is huge, because it will solve some problems that people really don't know they have. If you are we all have that friend, I have one, and he has a huge Sonos system. He's got Sonos speakers all over the place. And at a dinner, you know, he wants to play music loud, right? So there's speakers all over the place. They're not time aligned. Some speakers are closer to me, some are further away. So it's loud, yes, definitely, but it just doesn't sound good.
Says a man that maybe is not positive about Sonos. I hear that from some of the people.
Yeah, well, let's take the Sonos thing out of it. It's just because that time doesn't arrive to my ears in time.
Okay, and that is what this is all about.
And the first speaker, the speaker closest to me, is as loud as all the other ones. So it's just a big mess.
Okay. And how do you then work with this here? Do you use the artificial intelligence? Is it also a question of where is the phone? Is it far from here or close to me, or how do you? Of course, maybe that's a business secret, but
to a certain part it is. But of course, the AI inside is making sure that each and every part of the choir of units is providing the best voice as possible. That's basically the core to it, if we should put it not so technical.
And what about then making it the experience louder, so to speak? If my youngster at 17 years are going out there, can they use it for playing louder music, or is it more clarified music? Just for me to understand.
I mean,
it's a better music experience more than it's a louder music experience.
Because there are more units, it will be louder. But this is probably not the place to go if you want something that's going to
soundbox experience.
Just play loud and be ugly. But with more units, I mean, you know it from the large concert stadiums where you have so many speakers, and actually this time alignment. If you go to Parken, which is a nightmare, because again you would have difficult in get the all audio to arrive in time to my ears, and if it doesn't, the whole experience doesn't merge in my head, and it just becomes a bad experience. And Parken is.
But could Parken then be a customer for iFi Inside, or is it a whole other industry? Well, I'm just asking because
the way of thinking about time alignment and getting the audio to arrive in time, which makes the audio purer, clearer to listen to, less messy. Makes it more beautiful, and it will also make it louder when you have more units playing together.
Okay, yeah. And also, of course, if the unit is closer to me, then my experience will, of course, be louder than and that will also be part of it. So, so now this is mine, Frederick. We say I can keep it. Thank you for coming.
You could download the app though.
And then we have this. Of course, we can maybe show it in there. We have this app here, and there's a little small button here that I actually. So I start off with playing just for myself now, or is it?
Well, now it's everyone, but I can be quick on that. Okay. So just go ahead now.
Now I'm.
Now it's
just on myself.
Yeah.
And then we have this.
Unmute,
and then we go
for all of them.
And then you can listen to the wider experience in many ways. Yeah. What about stereo? I'm just asking, curious. Stereo is not used that much in. Is that something that you can work with?
As we know the
I was saying stereo. Yeah.
As we know where the units are, we can typically pull a left and a right off.
Okay, you could do that.
It's of course some questions that are difficult because it's the question of where are the listener's perspective. We cannot really tell. No. But it's still, you will get a spacious dimension out of the whole thing for sure.
Yeah. So great, but then. As you said to me before we started out, this is actually the perspectives here are greater than the telephones just lying here. If we are together in a room, then let's try and put them as if we were eating, and we could even be many different places, and then we can play with even greater sounds. If I can push the button right, and then I go to. Yeah. So that would actually bring music closer to each of the owners of an iPhone, which is, I can feel also louder in the sense. And then you told me, and I'm of course prepared, that there is also more to it, namely connecting one telephone with a Bluetooth loudspeaker as well, which will again do the same thing. And we brought one, you brought one, I can bring it here, where we actually not only have the phones but also Bluetooth loudspeakers. And as you said, bringing each a Bluetooth loudspeaker with a telephone would make this even more massive. But if it's connected now, I'll see if we then. So then we got the experience of also having the bass, of course, and now the sound quality also for a man
sound
like
quality
you
is good. Yeah.
is evolving and rising. So great. I'm not fond of turning the music down and spoiling the party, but we need to stop here. And but Fredrik and Bjørn, thank you so much for coming, and
thank you
to
for
Sound Dimension for also visiting us here in Denmark. Hope to see you soon. And til alle jer derude, så tak fordi I har set med. Håber I har fået noget ud af produktpræsentationen her og få lært Sound Dimension at kende. Som altid husk, at det her er ikke en anbefaling til at købe aktier, men alene til, at de skal blive klogere på selskabet, på hvad de går og laver. Forhåbentlig kan det også være, at I en dag skal prøve produkterne. Kig ind på sounddimension.se, så kan I læse meget mere. Så tak fordi I så med, og på gensyn derude, og have en god sommer.